So I'm Amy, and I have breast cancer. I was diagnosed back in June. Um, I live here at Grand Canyon with my partner Dave.
My name is Dave. We live and work. This is our backyard, Grand Canyon National Park.
I met Dave in 2014, and I decided that I would go visit him in New York. So I just got on an airplane and I went there. I would say the rest is history, but we were both doing a lot of running at the time. That was kind of neat, and that was probably one of our shared passions. It still is. Things have changed for us a bit now.
My aunt got us tickets to Crosby, Stills and Nash at the original Woodstock, and I kind of on a whim asked Amy to fly out and go with me to the concert, and she accepted, which was really great. Fast forward a couple months, I went to visit her in Texas, and then I had to, the big Team RWB Old Glory relay with the flag across the country, and Amy supported me a bunch through that, came out to visit, and our relationship really blossomed.
Back in 2015, decided to hit the road. So we got an RV and decided that we wanted to try the full-time work camping. Went to Las Vegas, did work camping there. Then we moved to South Dakota, I guess, and worked at Mountain Rushmore. Then we moved here to the canyon for our first seasonal stint.
Did that for a couple years and kind of ended up back here, and they gave us housing and full-time jobs, so we work for the Grand Canyon Conservancy nonprofit, helping to protect this park for future generations. I've been coming to this park since I was a kid with my dad. He first brought me here when I was probably in 4th grade, and so it's had a really special place in my heart.
It just makes you feel so small, and that sense of just vastness it's awesome. It's overwhelming. The feeling that you get from the universe being so big, because the canyon is so big and you're such a little tiny part of that.
I started coming here as an adult a couple months after. I started coming to the canyon as an adult a couple months after my fiance died. I kind of got into ultra running. So back in 2003, my fiance and I were 6-7 months. She was pregnant, and she had a miscarriage. Shortly thereafter, she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, and she fought it really, really hard, but she only lasted a couple months into June of 2004.
I had noticed that I felt a little lump. And it's close enough to the surface that I could actually feel it. Dave and I were with Juno on a hike, and I remember that I mentioned something to him about feeling something there, and he encouraged me. He said, "You have to be honest with me," and he said, "You have to go and get it checked out." They did the mammogram and an ultrasound, and they said, "You won the prize." I went in for a second appointment, and the radiologist told me, it's kind of shock, and it's like, well, this can't be my life. I'm healthy. I'm not supposed to, have cancer. So, and I don't know if I don't remember how I told him.
It brought up a lot of memories of Jen and the pain she went through.
At first, I was hoping that maybe, obviously, that we wouldn't have to do chemotherapy or radiation or anything. And then the next step was the decision whether or not to just try to proceed with a lumpectomy and just take that little part out, or decided to do the double mastectomy. So they took out my breast tissue, and so now I'm undergoing the reconstruction process.
Of course, COVID has made it really, really hard because I wasn't allowed to be in the hospital with her during the surgeries, and I can't sit with her.
Oh, well, they told me ahead of time that I would lose my hair, and they were 100% certain that it would happen. And so I was waiting for it. Still doesn't really prepare you for what it's actually like, because that was pretty shocking. But we went camping, Dave and I and Juno, and with a tent up in the mountains. We actually took a little Honda generator with us and some clippers. And I went ahead and just decided to shave it all off. So I no longer have hair, but I put on some makeup, and this is how we came. So, love you guys. The biggest issue I've had to deal with that's been pretty frustrating was just this issue with my hands. Yeah, so I've had this symptom called hand and foot, and it just honestly feels like your hands are just in acid. I just stuck them in a big vat of acid, and then skin starts peeling off, and that's pretty nasty. But they said there's nothing they can do for it except maybe change my chemotherapy dose next time. But anyway, in the meantime, it's just super frustrating. Steroids make me all puffy. So that's not any fun.
I think emotionally, this has been a lot more difficult than I thought up front.
Coming where he comes from, with his background and his history and the things that he's gone through, has made him a really strong person.
I kind of really thought that I would just be like the rock support for Amy, and I've had a lot of breakdowns myself. Really supportive employer here with the Grand Canyon Conservancy.
It constantly reassures me that we're going to get through it together, and I have complete and total faith in that.
I guess what I wish most for Amy is for her to have a bright future ahead of her. One of the things that we talk about, like after COVID and after her cancer, is going to a beach somewhere, or just de-stressing for a little while. I want to be able to give her that when cancer and COVID and everything's done.
We're just lucky that we have each other. That's the most important thing, I think. It's just that we, can support each other and know that we're going to get through this.
What I really love about Amy is, like, when you catch her when she's happy, it is awesome. It's just having that, for me, is just a really great feeling.
Oh, just that he's my rock, it gives me strength, and he's, just always gonna be there to take care of me. Kind of funny too sometimes. I'd like to listen to some live music in the beach.
Just doing the little trips that Amy and I do, the backpacking in the canyon, the long weekends where we just pitch a tent, take a map, and hit the road, with no real plan, just, exploring.
Hey guys, I'm just here to say thank you. I set up a GoFundMe page to help with my financial issues. I just can't thank you guys enough from the bottom of my heart. I know that I can beat this, and I am stronger than cancer. Love you all.
I think we did it.
You did good, babe.
What do you think?
Yeah. Thank you, guys.